They look nuts. They look nuts. They look nuts. And the Barbz don't care.
Girl. Really?
All right, so Nicki Minaj did a speech at the United Nations. She got a little bit of backlash because she thanked Trump. Some of the Barbz was saying, is Nicki MAGA? Let's see what the Joe Budden podcast had to say about this. Y'all better like the video. Y'all better subscribe. Let's get
the numbers for the year that they only knew like a few that they could prove that were Muslim or Christian. They didn't know.
Well, because it's not really about religion. But what makes this, and that's a great point, what makes this an issue for people is she's basically repeating MAGA talking points.
Yes, that's MAGA shit.
And then the right-wing MAGA people said, you know what? You're repeating our talking points? Why don't you come speak at the United Nations?
Oh, my God, and she went.
And she went. Again, and this is not, I know it's not going to stop my timeline from being in shambles, but this is not a criticism of Nicki per se, as much as it is like, this is just bad information. I don't really care. If Nicki wants to talk about what's going on in Nigeria, she has a right to, but it's just not proper information. It's just not good information.
What's up? Like, what's going on?
Joe, what do you think?
What's going on, Joe?
Some of the Barbz was at the show last night. So we ended up kicking it. I asked them niggas. Hey, y'all.
I missed this part of the journey.
Well, because during the show, everybody stood up.
Yeah.
And once I was over there, I'm in there, we talking. They're like, Joe.
You went right to the UN?
I'm a Barb. I was like, well, about that. What do you think? They don't give a fuck.
They don't care.
They will defend this chick today. That's how we been knew she was MAGA. We don't care about that.
Right.
I said, well, what about she said nothing is so. I mean, what am I going to say?
Eat a baby on live.
I think Nicki is going. I don't know what Nicki is going through. Again, I like to assume that there's other stuff going on that we don't know about. But I'm off this wagon. I'm off this wagon.
It feels very much like a Kanye trajectory to me.
Ooh.
And what I mean by that is there's the online presence. We saw the kind of flurry of tweets a month or two ago. Uh-huh. We also saw Kanye as Jay-Z was going toward Obama. We saw Kanye move away. Mm-hmm. I'm watching something very similar here happen as she goes toward Trump. And Trump support and MAGA talking points, and it wasn't just the Africa stuff. It was also reposting transphobic and homophobic stuff. That's all mixed up.
I missed that.
Yeah, it's all mixed up in the MAGA videos. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? And so it's just looking very familiar. I'm a Nicki fan in terms of the music. I just don't like this online presence. I don't like what's happening at the UN, and I feel like she's being. I don't want to say used because that makes. Yeah, but sometimes when we say people are being used, and she might be, but when we say that, sometimes it makes them seem like they don't have control over their own choices. She might be very conscious and intentional about the choices she's making. So I don't want to assume that she doesn't know what's going on. I want to give her enough credit to know she's making an informed choice, even if I disagree with it. But the danger of this, again, is it misrepresents what's happening in Nigeria, which actually makes it harder to stop what's happening in Nigeria. Right. There's ethnic fighting, there's violence. What it is there are some extremists, Islamic extremist groups that are killing people, but the Muslim extremist groups are also killing Muslims. Right. That's the thing. They're not just killing Christians, they're killing Muslims for not being quote unquote Muslim enough. So everybody's dying out there. You know what I mean? This country split almost, it's 2.
Oh, that's like the super MAGA groups that beef with MAGA for not being MAGA.
Exactly. That's the point. So if you make it seem like, Christians are being persecuted, then it sounds like that's the way to solve the problem is to stop the persecution of Christians. They're not being persecuted for their Christianness. They're being persecuted because they're not meeting up with the values of this extremist group, and it's happening to everybody. That's how you stop it. So
you're slowing up to help with this bullshit.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get proper information to Nicki, and if she's this passionate about Africa as she seems to be, and she's this passionate about the persecution of vulnerable groups that she says she is, then I hope with the new information she can speak out with the good information. So shout out to her, shout out to the Barbz.
Do we know more about her UN trip? I saw pictures. That's all I saw.
There's not much to know, you know, because they were in New York, so there wasn't a big press throng or anything like that. They kind of brought her up there, she gave her thing, and then kind of bounced. You know what I mean? And sometimes when dignitaries or people who are powerful, especially politically powerful people, invite you, you feel like it's such an honor to be there that we don't ask any questions about why we're there.
I just think Twitter should stop being, in 2020, heading into 2026, I would like Twitter to stop being the end-all, be-all of us knowing how people feel about things. Yeah. Like, if you're going to go on Twitter and tweet, cool, but for people that make their bones off of a microphone, at some point I would like to hear you with a microphone go a little more in depth about what it is your plight is that you're speaking about. Everybody doesn't know.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, these tweets, they look nuts. they look nuts. They look nuts. And the Barbz don't care.
At all. You gotta read the comments. They don't give a fuck.
No, they don't give a fuck.
At all.
They don't.
Now, in the beginning of the video, I might have misspoke because, yeah, that's the sentiment. A lot of the Barbz are saying, y'all don't see it. She's going to get help from Trump to go against Jay-Z. She knows what she's doing. Her fan base will defend her no matter what. I do think her heart was in the right place when she, you know, showed up to the United Nations and gave her speech. But, you know, here's the thing. Everybody's saying that Roc Nation is trying to make her look crazy. I hear people saying they're trying to get her in a conservatorship like Wendy Williams and Britney Spears. They want to make her look crazy. They want to say she's doing drugs so they can silence her. And then you have people who don't see it like that. Then you have people like Marc Lamont who are saying this looks like a Kanye West trajectory, which is harsh. But I guess he's saying that because Kanye started tripping and then he went towards Trump. Nicki Minaj is saying crazy stuff online and now she's floating towards Trump. And now you see Kanye West being apologetic. I saw him in a clip yesterday sounding sad. Somebody asked him, you know, what's a fashion trend you regret participating in? And he said life. And everybody was like, what's wrong with Kanye? And his head was down. He looked all sad. And maybe he is in a place of reflection right now. Who knows? But I don't want to see Kanye's situation happen to any other celebrity, yet alone Nicki Minaj. But I'm not trying to say Nicki is crazy either. I'm not trying to put anything on her. And ever since that back and forth with Cardi B and some tea was spilled, you have a lot of people looking at Nicki a certain type of way. At this point, I'll be honest, and I think this is why Joe Budden said you shouldn't go on Twitter to try to explain your position. I could try to tell you what Nicki Minaj's gripe is with Jay-Z and Roc Nation. But at the end of the day, I don't know for sure. And none of the Barbz know for sure. Y'all think y'all know. Y'all think because she talks in code on Queen Radio or Station Head that y'all get all of her points. But y'all don't know. Y'all just gonna support anything. And that's okay. I don't blame you, right? Kendrick fans are doing the same. Drake fans are doing the same. And anybody else's fans are doing the same. So I can't blame any Barb for standing by their queen. That's, you know, that's y'all girl. But I think Nicki is in a position where she needs to explain it to the people who are not Barbz and the people who don't get it and the people who are not going to ride or die for her regardless, because those people are going to be the people who say she's crazy. Those are going to be the people who try to label you. Now, with that being said, I wish Nicki the best. I wish her kids the best. Her kid the best. Her family the best. And I wish the Barbz the best, you know. And it's been quiet for Nicki too since she did the speech and the little back and forth. We haven't seen her giving us a lot of activity online. And maybe that's for a reason. Maybe she's putting out music. And by the way, I thought she looked good too. All right. Barbz, y'all tell me How y'all feel about this? Like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.